Hey, Boaz here from Next Pittsburgh. I'm here at the historic Carrie furnace, which is part of Rivers of Steel, and we're getting a very special tour today from Ron. You've been with the organization for multiple decades. You were their fourth employee, right?
Yep, I was since 1998.
Wow. And so for folks who've never been here before, if that's possible, because there's so much happening here, tell us, what is Carrie Furnace?
So where we are right now are the Carrie Blast Furnace's National Historic Landmark site. There's a blast furnace right behind me. Iron that was made here between 1907 and 1978 was transported over to Homestead, where it was turned into steel, and that steel literally and figuratively built the world. These are the last of their type, the last of the pre-World War II blast furnaces that are left in this country. And the technology that was put in place here changes the world.
All right, well, let's go get a tour.
Absolutely. Where we're walking, this would have been a rail bed, and down below us would have been a rail bed. So to make iron, you need to bring in iron ore. So that the thing right ahead of us is called a stationary car dumper. And it was built in 1926. It's the oldest of its type left in this country. And its sole function was to lift up a hopper car full of iron ore and dump it out and put it back down and move it out. And they were doing that about 14 times an hour.
Wow.
Right. So this area out here, which is the ore yard, should be about 25 feet deeper than it is.
Oh.
It's been infilled, and there would be mountains of iron ore here. You can see, if you look at the wall, how it's stained.
Yeah.
That's because of iron ore.
Wow.
This was a kinetic place.
Yeah.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They were making iron here that would then be shipped across the river in bottle cars, so big giant thermoses on wheels, in a molten state across the hot metal bridge over to Homestead, and then that iron would be converted into steel, and that steel became the Empire State Building, the Bay Bridge, the Panama Canal locks, on and on. So it is not hyperbole to say that this region built this country in the world.
Yeah. This is where the unloading would happen?
Mm-hmm. So the hopper cars full of iron ore would be brought in here with a pusher engine like that, brought into place, set on this cradle, and then these big arms that are up above us would come down and...
They're like robot arms.
Yeah, they come down and boom, hold the hopper in place.
Yeah.
And why do they have to do that? Because this entire thing is a cradle. It's like this. I am now the cradle.
Right.
Okay? And what it does is it lifts up
Okay.
like this to dump the cars. We'll take you up to the next level, which is the dumper level. And if you're feeling game, we'll take you all the way to the very top where all the motors
Oh, wow.
that run this device were located.
Okay. And the last time this was in operation was in the 70s?
The last time this was in operation was 1982.
Okay.
It was built in 26, and by the time it was taken out of commission in 82, it was
a dinosaur, yeah.
Exactly. So, the two furnaces that are still here, number 6 and 7, ran until 1978, but there were two larger furnaces that are directly ahead of where we are here, numbers 3 and 4, that ran until 1982.
Okay.
So this was the only car dumper for the site. So all of the iron ore that came in here had to come through this.
Yeah.
There's this idea that these big guys worked in these mills. Then you move around them and you realize, no way, okay, that it had to be a lot of smaller folks by how tight everything is. So this level's really cool. Now we are this fall going to be kicking off a preservation project with the car dumper. We have a Save America's Treasures grant for it through the National Park Service,
Oh, wow.
which will allow us to put new plating down, work on the structural elements of it, paint it, preserve it for the future.
Yeah.
But this is the dumper level. So the materials come up. We were just right there.
Okay, yeah. So those are the arms we saw from below.
Hopper comes up. Materials within it fall out.
Goes through this massive grate.
Goes through the grate. What doesn't come out on its own? See these hoses?
Oh, yeah.
Those are water cannon. They blast the ore out, which then causes it to fall through this grating and break it up. That transfer car would then take the iron ore and dump it into that ore yard, the ore yard that was right over here, and the ore yard that was over there. So massive complex, one station to move everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. We're going past the yellow chains now. We're really behind the scenes.
Right, exactly.
Oh, wow. It just keeps going. Wow.
This is phenomenal. So you can see all the way down into Braddock with the Edgar Thompson Works,
Yeah.
which has been operating since 1875. Andrew Carnegie's very first fully integrated steel mill.
Right.
Last one left in the state, which is pretty impressive. And then this is the hot metal bridge.
So now we're on top of everything.
Right. You can see all of the motors.
Wow. There's just still there.
Yeah, that operated this car dumper and allowed for the movement of it. Absolutely incredible that it's intact.
Yeah.
And so all of this will be part of our future restoration. Right now, public doesn't come up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
These are all fuses?
Yep. Rare to have it something this intact, because usually what ends up happening, and it happens some here, is that while this was dormant, people would come and take anything that wasn't nailed down. So fortunately, we got in and we were able to close things off and protect the site, because you're not going to find anything like this left anywhere in this region.
Okay, and this is another structure here at the base.
So this is the locker room for the stationary car dumper. So the folks who worked here had their own locker space here.
Well, the lockers are there. They're a little grown over, but they're still there.
There's still a refrigerator here. This locker room hasn't changed since the 1920s. Check this out. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness. Is this a sink in the middle?
Yeah, hand washing station. But look at these ceilings. These barrel vaulted ceilings. This is like time stood still here.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, the toilet's over here still?
Yep, the toilets are still here. There's showers, these lockers. When you see this style locker, the mesh fronts, you're talking early 20th century. Wow. Yeah. Life existed here in 3 shifts. So this wasn't just like, you're coming in at 8, leaving at 4. This is around the clock. Right. So this was really second home to a lot of people. A lot of times they kind of bling out the lockers and
have photos of friends, just like in high school.
Yeah, exactly. Or some friends, some other things, but it's kind of fun. But it's just a communal space. Yeah. So this site isn't just about this massive machinery and the technology. It's about the people that worked here. Right. All right, so where we're walking now, we're going into an area known as the Iron Garden. This is historically where furnaces number 1 and 2 were. But when we got this site in 2010, all of this had been torn down. The only thing that was left are these. And there was so much overgrowth here that when we tried to come in and mow or cut things down, we kept destroying machinery. So we just kind of left it.
Yeah.
And, it becomes one of those fun little Bob Ross happy little mistakes in life, okay? Where we left it alone. But nature did something incredible. Yeah. Nature taught us what happens to the industrial landscape when you allow nature to come back in. How does it heal itself? Yeah. So we decided that this area over here, which had been difficult for us to work in, that if that's the hand we're being dealt, then let's ride it. So we created this lovely seating area here. And all of it is with an idea of showing how does nature come back. It starts with grasses and then lower lying bushes. It works its way up to all the larger trees and eventually hardwood. But along with that comes the flora and the fauna. So the wildlife that takes this as a habitat. So on one hand, behind us, we have this massive industrial complex that roared and belched and made iron and was a difficult environment. And on the other hand, we've got this natural setting.
So much bird song.
With birds and growth, and you can see that this scarred landscape can be healed. Yeah. It also gives us a beautiful setting for pieces of art, most of which were made on site. So you can see them spotted throughout. And also interpretive panels that we made, and we cast them on site that tell the story of succession. So as you move through, you can understand what kind of wildlife is here, what kind of vegetation is growing here.
Well, Ron, thank you so much for the tour. And though we saw a few things that aren't on the normal tour, if folks do want to take a tour, they can get in touch with Rivers of Steel.
Absolutely. We'd love to have folks here. We run public tours from May through the end of October. And if you go to riversofsteel.com, you can find out more information.
Well, thanks so much, Ron.
My pleasure. Thank you.